Good evening, you guys. This is Missy Lynn, and this is my YouTube channel, Felonies and Poppy Seeds. We are working on our chakras, and today we're working on the Ajna Chakra, which is the third eye chakra. We have gone from the root on up, and next will be our crown chakra, and then we're gonna bring it all together. And I have a lot of things to say tonight, so this one might be a little bit long-winded. So to start off, in Sanskrit, the word ajna means to perceive and command. It's between the brows above your eyes, but it's kind of in the back near the top of your spine, kind of in the middle of your head. The pineal gland is in the center of your third eye chakra. The color is indigo. This is the best I had. It's not really indigo, so I'm not wearing it. um, there are two petals in the symbolism of the Ajna chakra, and they represent the pair of nadis going up the sides of the body, ending at the nostrils. So if you look at your biology and you look down at your spine, you have two cavities, two holes, and those are the nadis that twist up and turn into these chakras that we have, the seven main chakras. And these holes that end at your nostrils help with your meditative breathing more than any other way. So what you have to do to kind of try to learn to breathe this way through the nadis is to kind of constrict your throat and your nose a little bit. It sounds a little nasally. And you breathe. And when you do that, you should be able to feel cool air going in and warm air going out. So practice that as much as you need until you can feel that without the constriction. And it's a really, really good meditative breathing for anything. Ajna also means self-command, overcoming duality, and also deep surrendering to the command or from guidance from the guru. Who's the guru? What guidance? You're the guru. I'm the guru. It's your selfless spiritual teacher, your higher self. Your higher self. So, Ajna, your third eye, you're receiving commands and surrendering to your higher self. And this is where you'll be able to come into contact with your higher self when you come into connecting with your third eye. The Ajna chakra is spiritual awakening, period, when activated. So when your third eye is activated, spiritual awakening happens. That's like the end all of getting your third eye open for those of you who are like dead set on getting your third eye open. When we let go of our material lives, things that were important before begin to disappear from our mindset. So like when you were a kid and you saw these commercials and you wanted to have all these brand name things, and even as an adult you wanted the biggest toys, the biggest stereos, the biggest cars, all the things. Those things really dissipate. They don't really exist at all. Yeah, it's nice to have comfortable things, but really I don't care much about that even anymore. I'm thankful for a roof over my head, and I'm thankful for the food that I feed my child and things like that. But sitting around and thinking about the things I can save to buy for, or how to get the money to get some big new thing, it's not a part of me anymore, and it hasn't been for quite a few years. And that's a really freeing, let me tell you, freeing feeling, because that's not what we're here for. It never was what we were here for. Like, that's what we fell into with our conditioning from government, school, church, parents, all of the things. Who here thinks we were meant to work 9 to 5, work our asses off in this, dead end job that you go nowhere, you're not appreciated, you don't have time to spend with your family, you don't have time to enjoy, laugh, eat, breathe, relax, all the things. Who thinks that? I certainly don't anymore. I used to. I used to think I needed to climb that corporate ladder, and I worked hard at it. And I got, to the point to where I got to, and it was killing me. It was killing me. It was doing the opposite of giving me longevity of life and health and happiness. My job was an advocate, so yes, there was happiness in helping others, but the stress and the demand and the going out in the middle of the night and things like that, I couldn't do. I had a little one to take care of. My own child was suffering for me to help people, and I will always help people. And I hope that didn't sound wrong, but I don't have to have that restrictive schedule to help people, and I don't, and I do help people. Um, that's just not what life is about, and neither is materialistic shit. Um, when we let go of our material lives, things that were important before begin to disappear from our mindset. Most people I know who have taken this journey have completely transformed from material wealth and yearning to becoming one with the cosmos, which way surpasses any fulfillment you get from ordering that item you saw on Amazon that you just had to have. Um, when your third eye is activated, shopping and all of the happiness that makes materialism brings no longer serves you. It becomes not only unnecessary, but it's no longer a part of you. It's not a thought in my brain. The things I think about are like maybe getting things to help me with my YouTube channel, to help spread this awareness, to help with my purpose. But that's about it. School clothes for my kid, she's a kid. It becomes not only unnecessary, but it's no longer a part of you. You are letting go of your conditioning. Here and only here will you find inner peace. And I believe that, and I experience it, and I know it to be true. I do. When you're always wanting the next best thing, you're never fulfilled. It's like a drug, chasing that next fix. You're never going to get that same fix you got the first time you got high. It's not fulfilling. For a minute, for a second, that's about it. Gifts and abilities awaken with us when our third eye is activated. A third eye activation comes when we bring all of our life force energy up to our crown chakra. And that's coming next. I learned some breath work to where you really can bring that, you can feel that energy going up, and I'm really excited. And before we do that, we'll recap all of the chakras that we've done. Abilities such as psychic abilities, healing abilities, sight abilities, etc., are spiritual gifts. And we are all born with these spiritual gifts and abilities. This is why we see babies staring at the wall and laughing and smiling, and we're like, what the fuck are they looking at? It freaks us out, but they can see. They have sight. They're born unconditioned. So they can see the spirits. They can see the things that we can't see. We can see this much of what is really out there when our third eye is not activated, when our chakras are not aligned, and we are not spiritually in tune. We just can't see it. And I've seen glimpses, and that's why I'm so dead set on helping you guys learn this, because the glimpses that I've seen have been significant. So I can't even imagine what it's going to be like when I fully have everything aligned and my third eye open. And I've heard and listened and studied stories about it. But anyways, it's incredible. We're all born with these abilities, and that's why we see the babies and da 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 da. Seriously, lost my place. Hold on. So the babies are staring at the wall, and it's because they have not been conditioned. It's because they haven't been conditioned through parents, church, school, etc. yet. These abilities fade as conditioning begins. An important lesson here: listen to your little ones. They know more than those who aren't woke, because they're born without us teaching them that this stuff is fantasy and false and mumbo jumbo bullshit. Like, they're born knowing, and then we change them, and that's why we are all the way we are. It's why we don't have these abilities. Well, we have them, but they're not activated. um So they are unconditioned until we take it away from them unknowingly. For hundreds of years we've been doing this. Now we have the responsibility to not condition our children, to let them flourish in their true forms. And we can learn a lot from them. I know I've learned a lot from my daughter. Light is the third eye's force in the way of sunlight and the light of consciousness and illumination. The Ajna Chakra decodes downloads so that the conscious mind is able to connect between divinity and individuality, giving us access to great wisdom. So people receive downloads once their third eye is open and their chakras are aligned, meaning they receive messages, sometimes in the form of symbols, sometimes in the form of words, sometimes they can hear them. And our third eye decodes that to where we can understand it in our human way. The pineal gland sits right in the center of the Ajna Chakra, which produces serotonin, melatonin, and DMT. And I have a story about that real quick. So I did some DMT breath work with Sandy. He's a YouTuber. He's an incredible Kundalini yoga YouTuber. And I think it was maybe 15 minutes, and it was really fast paced, breath work. And he guided us through the whole thing. And at the end of it, you're so worn, you just sit there and you feel like you're in bliss, and you just feel. And as I'm sitting there, as I finished, I saw lights, I saw stars, and then I looked with my eyes closed to my right, and I saw this woman that looked like she was kind of on this Spanish style staircase. And she was just kind of plain dressed. She had a ponytail, kind of thick, wavy, dark hair. And she was like wiping the walls down, the stucco walls that were along this kind of rounded staircase. And I looked over at her, and she looked up at me. And for a minute, she looked kind of startled. And then she looked like, she's here, And I don't know who, how, what she was, but she was very real. She had eye contact with me. And the startledness was almost like she's here now, but she'd been expecting me. I don't know if she's me in another realm. I don't know if she's me in a past life. I don't know if she's one of my guardians, one of my higher, people. I don't know. But I saw so much detail, and there was so much passed between our eyes, and I wish I would have been able to spend more time there. But right after that, she looked back to the wall, and I looked to my left, and I saw a younger woman, maybe about 20, and she had really long, like sandy, kind of wavy hair. And what I can kind of picture, if I can remember it correctly, is just this long flowing gown of some sort, kind of white, off white. I don't know, blue. I don't know what color it was. It was just beautiful. And it was flowing with her hair. So she wasn't really standing, and there wasn't even really ground. I don't know where she was. Like, my first thought is underwater, but I don't know. And she looked up at me, I looked at her, and she went away. And then I saw the star show. It looked like the night sky with a trillion bazillion bright stars in it, some shooting stars. And then all of a sudden it closed up and everything disappeared. So if that's any inkling of what it might be like to have your third eye open, I'm going to continue my path. because I want to know where I came from. I want to know who's watching out for me. I want to meet my higher self. I want to meet my guardian angels, and I want to see who I used to be, you know? And so that was kind of a side note. I wasn't going to go into that, but seemed like the right time. I spend a lot of time writing all this stuff out to share with you guys. Um, and that was just something that was really incredible that happened to me. Um, Healing the third eye chakra, one one activity is candle gazing, and I didn't look too far into this, but it said that it helps with focus. So lighting a candle and just gazing into the candle, you know, probably focusing on your third eye, and you know that's just one thing that I read. Um, Causes of blockages are diet of highly processed foods, sadness, disconnect from nature, calcification from fluoride, and exposure to heavy metals affect the pineal gland. So every fucking thing affects the pineal gland. So we have to be so intentional about what we eat, what we do, what we're around, you know, and nobody is. You know, we've all been walking around asleep, and I shouldn't say nobody because there are so many people awakening and awoke and on board and trying and learning and on this journey and teaching others. So not nobody, but so many are still walking around so asleep that they're still in that everything they think about is work and shopping and new things and money, and it's just, it makes me sad. um an unbalanced ajna means not seeing, not seeing, simply not seeing. If it's unbalanced, you don't have that gift of sight. A balanced ajna gives you the sixth sense. You can trust your inner voice. The ajna can be activated over a length of time, or it can be simultaneously or spontaneously awoken. This can be a lot if it's spontaneously awoken, as you can imagine. How you suddenly have an awakened third eye that comes with all of your natural abilities, all of this sight, this light show, you know, all of these things you're seeing, all these different entities. I mean, I can't even imagine. Mine is definitely a slowly awakening so far. I have had two instances where I was laying down in bed and I had meditated before. I was listening to solfeggio, and I had this like like hard jerk from internal, and it felt like something was trying to rip out of my body. And it was two different nights, and it really startled me. And I don't know if my soul was trying to separate from my human body or what, but it felt so violent to me that I was afraid. So I, you know, like kind of held on tight, like to not let it happen, whatever was happening, you know. So that's why I think mine is kind of a slow process awakening, because I'm getting just little bits and pieces of different things all the time. But I'm also every single day meditating, learning how to meditate better, listening to podcasts, reading books, doing all the things that I can, because this is my new purpose. You know, I used to talk a lot about my trauma. I had two children killed by my abuser 15 and 16 years ago, and my oldest was killed in this January 2023. And I can't live there anymore. I can't. And my sole purpose for doing my TikTok and writing my book on all of that was so that nobody felt so alone like I did, that their children were actually killed by their abusers. But I did that for so long, and then when my last one died, it just became too much. I had to change course. It's too much for any mom, you know, not just for me to lose one child, but to lose three. I had to make a change or I wasn't going to make it. And so I'm not saying that I'll never go back, and I'll probably tie it all in together. But right now, I have to go on this path. And I'm actually getting ready to go on my dark night journey, which is facing my abuser and what he did to my children and forgiving him, facing other people that hurt me and were involved in my other daughter's death, facing my addictions and my cigarette smoking, and just becoming complete truth inside and out. Nothing holding me back, nothing, nailing my feet to the ground. I have to let go and I have to face all of this. And that was the other thing that happened during that Kundalini breath work. I had my eyes closed and I saw my face right in front of my face, and my eyes were open. My eyes were closed. My other self's eyes were open. And slowly I turned and I faced myself and I opened my eyes and I'm staring myself right in the eyes. And it was really painful to see the pain in my eyes, but it was also so fucking amazing. For someone who has had an identity crisis her whole life from borderline, to see my own eyes in my own eyes was a really amazing experience. And like I said, that again came from the Kundalini breath work. So physical things that an unbalanced ajna can cause is headaches, vision problems, neurological disorders, eye problems, and brain disorders. Mental symptoms, self-limiting beliefs, lack of purpose, depression, and I can't read the last word. The color for this chakra is indigo. The How do I keep losing my place? Its energy governs communication, awareness, and perception. Perception is everything. We only see a very small amount of our surroundings of reality. When our third eye is activated, you can see realities that have always been there, but we have never been able to see. Om is the mantra. Crystals are clear quartz and labradorite. Kundalini yoga is extremely effective in opening your third eye. I've experienced this on small scale, like I have told you. Please research before you start doing it. Kundalini yoga can also be very dangerous. The yoga poses for your third eye is the child's pose and downward dog. Affirmations are: I am the source of my truth. I am open to the truths of the universe. I am connected to the spiritual word. I see my life's purpose clearly. And I think I'm going to wait to do our little bit of a meditation exercise because this one took a little longer than normal and I need to go get my little one ready for bed. But maybe I will get on here tonight to do the meditation. It's a good meditation. It's breathing, breathing out to, well, I'll explain it when I get there. But anyways, so that is what I know about our third eye, and that I am going to be continuing, like I say every time, to delve into this deeper and deeper and deeper, because in my opinion, this is going to heal my mental, my physical well-being, and it's going to get me to where I want to be. It's going to change my life, and it's going to help me let go of the things that no longer serve me. And I'm already finding the changes within me. Like, I know that a lot of my friends are like, what the fuck is Missy doing? This is so unlike her. But it's not. This feels like me. This feels like my soul purpose, and writing my book still is, and it all goes hand in hand. It's helping. It's love. It's helping people not feel alone. It's helping people understand how, what, why, and see the real purpose and meaning. And again, this is absolutely not a religion. It is science. And if you don't believe me, please, by all means, look it up. This is mainstream science now. Science, and philosophy and quantum physics and all of it. They've all meshed together because they had no choice. They all came to dead ends except without each other. So it's real. And I hope that you take something away from this every time. I know I've had a lot of issues, and I swear to God, one of these days I'm going to have the setup of the lifetime, and it's going to be all professional, and we'll never have problems with sound or quality of the video. Um, but for now, bear with me. I'm doing the best I can. Don't have a lot of money, haven't worked a lot since my daughter passed, and but I have what it takes to make a fucking video. And that's what's important. So, anyways, I hope you all have a beautiful evening, and hopefully, I will be able to get on here and do a little meditation with you guys. And if you want me to, comment below. That helps. And feel free to share this. If you have any friends that are, on this path, I am so open to learning. I know I'm beginning, starting my shadow work, I'm journaling, I'm asking myself questions, I'm facing myself. Um, and I know there's a lot of people way ahead of me, and I know there's a lot of people way behind me. So if you know anyone who would be interested, please invite them. I really want to. I am so passionate about this, and I am so thankful about this. I believe it's saving my life physically and mentally. I really do. With all that I've been through, I always wonder, before I started this, how am I even fucking alive? How am I even fucking alive? This is giving me that purpose besides my children, besides my two girls. This is giving me that purpose. And I believe it, and I feel it, and it excites me, and I'm grateful. So anyways, I will get off here, and I hope you guys have a wonderful fucking night, and I will see you soon.